Howdy, and thank you for listening to Equestria Inspired. This is your host, Dryak Nazak. Always happy to play for you guys. I hope you guys have been enjoying the new, wonderfully amazing pony episodes that have been coming on. Last week, I think this last Fluttershy one makes me a slight bit scared of her. Now, I don't ever want to cross her now that she's got all that crazy anger mismanagement training from that amazingly awesome and hilarious, I want to say, Mr. T knockoff of the Minotaur. For those of you who haven't seen the episode yet and are waiting to watch it on YouTube or something, I won't spoil anything, but it's a good one, gotta say. Thank you for listening. The last song you guys heard was the Fluttershy Model Mix. That was our little bit of an intro song. That is an amazing song. It was that one song, that one time, in that one episode. Yes, it's about as brief as I can get. It's the episode where Fluttershy becomes a model. Someone actually took the song that they heard in the background and rewrote it. Not rewrote it, but they, remade it and put an extended 3.5 version of it instead of the 5 seconds with lots of talking in front of it like we hear in the episode. And I feel that they do a wonderful job of actually sticking true to the song. It's almost exactly like the song in the show, so, props to that dude. But enough about that. Today we are here to give you guys some awesome stuff. We got some debate and discussion, maybe not so much debate, but discussion on the super controversial problems and things going on with what the heck is going on with Derpyhooves. What's going on? Hypotheses, theories, all that good stuff. What's going on? We will talk about it with our special guest today. We have Mr. Sureshot.
Hello.
He's here with us today. He's a fellow local Brony in my area, the Chicago area, northeastern Illinois, for those of you who don't know. He is one of the many wonderful Brony fellows that are helping spearhead the project to get Midwestria, the Chicago Brony convention, off the ground and flying around and enjoying and happy for all of you. So far, we've got things going, but for more details, I'm going to turn to him.
All right.
When did this all start? When was the original, at least the Facebook group, when you finally got people going and, started rallying the troops?
I think it initially started beginning of January. Jeremy Zink started up the Facebook Chicago BronyCon page. People were joining left and right because they wanted to get their foot in the door and work as a part of the staff or whatever. And I just so happened to be of use to the group and took a lot of notes, did a lot of delegating commands, so whatever. People, I don't know, I ended up being one of the directing staff of the Midwestria organization that we've currently got going.
Awesome. Do you have a few key names you'd like to mention for who seems to be doing a lot of work, or people who are quickly filling in key roles?
That would be Dan Goldfein, Hannah Potash, Jeremy Zink, Justin Chappelle, and Trevor Johnson, I believe, and me. We've all been working very hard to try and get this going. We've got the website. We've got actually we're working with somebody else who's directing their own convention called Collision Con. Chris Olivia is helping us get our contract going with the venue, which we're in the process of getting signed.
Are all of these people that you've mentioned, are they all Bronies, or are they business entrepreneurs that we have contacted with assistance, or?
The first 6 that I mentioned, or first 5 that I mentioned, they're all Bronies. Chris Olivia, I'm not entirely sure whether or not he considers himself a Brony or not, but he would definitely love to see this convention get on its feet and get going. And we definitely plan to have this well organized and well thought out. We've got somewhat of a dream list of people that we're planning on inviting to our convention and such, but yeah, can't exactly go about contacting anybody until we've got that contract.
Yeah, especially now with that other problem, not necessarily a problem, but more business on Hasbro's end that's been going on about the same time the Derpyhooves controversy has, is that Hasbro has put a bit of a halt on contacting and getting guest speakers, like the actresses and the directors and stuff. They're actually trying to put a hold on everything, and not to be jerks, but to kind of prioritize, because now with all these conventions sprouting up and all of these meets and stuff, everyone wants Ashley Ball, and all of them coming to their meets, and they're probably getting bombarded with invites and stuff, and since it's because of Hasbro and stuff, they're kind of going, all right, well, now we need to take a step back and actually deal with this and try and handle it from a more professional manner. And so that, I feel, although, they mean well and everything, that is probably going to be a little bit of a monkey wrench in getting everyone we wish to have.
Right. I mean, overall, I don't foresee it as being a huge problem. I mean, they said they're more than willing to work with us in terms of they're still trying to get it figured out, but they're not saying no. But at the same time, they're not saying yes. But
exactly.
I've heard a lot about what's going on with the New York convention, and that things are probably not as secure as they were initially about the guest speakers, John Delancey and Lauren Faust. But I still expect that they'll probably show up. They're not really Hasbro staff anymore. I don't think Lauren Faust works with them anymore.
I believe Lauren Faust took a stand down, I believe, and I'm pretty sure Delancey was, just the one character. Who knows? Whatever. But yeah, I'm sure that's why half of Bronies that wouldn't normally go are going. I know everybody goes. Everyone I know goes crazy. I have so many local friends here that are not Bronies. They wouldn't even give the show a chance, because they're all of the older age group, mid-late 30s kind of friends. I hang out with.
It's understandable.
A very diverse group, and they won't even give it a chance. It's the usual. It's a girls' show, whatever. And then the moment someone mentions, hey, Deland, Q is in there, boom, instant interest. They're like, oh, well, I gotta watch this now. It's like, okay, I guess we'll take them however we can get them, I guess. To each their own.
Right. Yeah. I can definitely see why. I was definitely skeptical at first as to whether or not this show would be good or worth watching, but eventually I was sent, I think, Dragon Shy. That was the first episode I saw, and I thought it was really good, but even still, at the time, I hadn't really thought much about this pony thing. I come back like a month later and decide to give it a chance because I'd seen so many pony pictures and stuff up on Facebook. I decided to watch the whole first season. I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I was hooked.
Oh yeah,
I watched the whole first season in one day.
Oh yeah, that's basically how it happened to me. I went, oh my god, why is there ponies everywhere on the internet? I can't go to any forums or any of my video game things or nothing. I can't check anything out without there being ponies everywhere. This is getting annoying. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm at least going to watch the show, so when I talk to somebody and they go, you should love ponies, and I go, no, they're annoying, I can at least have some real evidence to back my side of the story. And then I watched the first 2. I torrent the whole thing, I guess I torrented the first season just because I was going on a trip, and I came back later, and I was like, alright, well, let's watch an episode. And I was like, alright, well, it's pretty cool. And I hate starting something without finishing it, so I watched the second episode. And when Nightmare Moon got that super amazingly epic rainbow right in the face, I was sold. I was like, this is amazing. Despite the fact that it's in Flash, and the different artistic communities I hang out in, Flash is actually considered one of the lower types of animation forms, which I couldn't care less. If it works and it moves and it talks, it's fine by me.
Right.
But it was just great. The not so much the graphics, but like the color, the way they deal with the animation. I'm not a fan of the pony faces. I don't like how they're pointy at the tips of their nose. I've never seen a horse in my life that is pointy at the top of their nose. And like how when you're looking at them like face on, not from the side shot that they're almost always shot, but when you're looking at them head on, their faces turn into human faces.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I was, oh my god, that drives me crazy, but I will deal with it because the show is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I initially thought that was a bit odd too, but of course they're trying to make the show cute and kid friendly and whatever. I personally I like the animation style, although I do not care for the way they when they do the front of the face. I don't care for the way they animate that. I feel they could have done something differently to make it look more, I don't know, pony-like.
Three-dimensional?
Yeah, three-dimensional. But another reason I do like the show, they do very well with the animation. They put their heart and soul into it. The voice acting is phenomenal. It's just all around a good show and has a good message behind it too. And actually, I was watching something yesterday I was on Equestria Daily scrolling through, and this video had shown up where they were going into detail about a specific camera shot that they used in the show to make it look more dramatic in the most recent Fluttershy episode.
Right.
It was like a certain camera pan that,
Really?
I mean, certain things like that.
Most people don't even think about.
But
it really, really sets the mood and gets things,
definitely
hits it home and, really increases the ambiance.
It does. Yeah, I love it. It's a great show, and it's just the way they do it. It's phenomenal. It's awesome.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna move on to a song here in just a second. We got this song. I don't know how long it's been out there. I found it on YouTube, and I died when I heard it. I love it so much. It is the leaked extended version of the introduction song, not sung by the Twilight Sparkles voice singer, but the girl who sounds a lot like her that they actually use in the little Twilight Sparkle reedy story little plushies that you can get nowadays that have the little books that you can push buttons on their hooves, and it's a little Twilight Sparkle plushie that reads the story to you, which is super awesome. But we're gonna hit the song because it's the extended version, and I want to get someone out there to kind of merge the extended and the actual show intro version together, because they use different lines for both things. They didn't just cut it, they completely changed it with the original voice actors singing. So I'm gonna start talking about it, and I'll just I'll let you enjoy.
My little pony, what is friendship all about? My little pony, friendship is magic. I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic with me. When I was young, I was too busy to make any friends. Such silliness did not seem worth the effort it expends. But my little ponies, you opened up my eyes, and now the truth is crystal clear and splendid summer skies. And it's such a wonderful surprise. Little pony, I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic with me. When danger makes me wanna hide, your rainbow dash to my side. Kindness is never the choice of life. Once bitten, twice Fluttershy. For honesty, no pony can deny. You are the apple jack of my eye. A heart that shines so beautiful, a rarity to come by. And you all make fun and laughter as easy as speaking by. My little pony, I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic with me. Our friendship's magic, and it's growing all the time. A new adventure waits for us, each day is yours and mine. We'll make it special every time, we'll make it special every time. What a wonderful wonder friendship brings. Do you know you're all my very best friends? You're my very best friends. You're my very best friends. You're my very best friends.
Alrighty, and we're back. I sure hope you guys enjoyed that. Wonderful. I love the cute little puns and wordplay that they did in that to fit the names into each little one-sentence descriptions. I found it very cute, and I really wish that they'd, maybe they'll use that for the My Little Pony movie. Hopefully it won't be directed by Michael Bay. But anyway, we're back. We're going to get back onto the BronyCon discussion with our special guest, Sureshot, for those of you just recently joining with us. Mr. Sureshot, what particular highlights are we attempting to hit with this? Are there any particular focuses or main goals that we wish to achieve that might make us stand out from just some other convention?
Well, we have a lot of things planned, including inviting a lot of musicians to perform at our convention. We don't have a whole lot of details as to how it will work or what we'll do, but I think what we'll end up doing is having some kind of like concert towards the end of the night, and we'd like to have some of the more popular Brony artists performing there. We have a sort of a dream list of the sort of people that we want there. Mm-hmm. But obviously nothing at this point is set in stone. The only one that we're really in contact with right now is Yelling at Cats. Besides that,
it's still up in the air because everything is still in its infancy stage right now because we're still working out details. So yes, it's understandable that we still got time. One of the more bigger questions we have is, do we have a projected time? Do we have maybe a month that we want to say is when we're going to get this done, when it's going to actually happen? Do we have a...
We're planning for this year, and actually we're planning for sometime around, this fall. I can't really give out date or time right now, but we're definitely planning to have it this fall, and our pre-registration or our registration should be up on the page sometime within the next week because we should have the contract by then. Just check back to Midwestria.org if you're looking for that information. There are also staff applications if you'd like to work at the convention, so you can always check back on that too. We also have forums linked on that site, so any questions you've got for us, go ahead and ask.
Right. So it's going to be in the Chicago area. Do we have a particular venue yet?
As I said, we're working on a contract with a venue right now. It may not actually take place in Chicago, but it's in the Chicagoland area. Who we're currently trying to get a contract with is the venue Pheasant Run in St. Charles, Illinois. It should be signed by the end of this week, but not entirely sure at this point in time.
That's up to the bureaucrats. Mm-hmm. It's up to the Canterlot unicorns to go deal with all that. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Do you? We have a lot of people that we want to come. Do we have any? Or I should say, do you have anybody that you may personally have been speaking of any note that might be showing up?
Well, some of the people I'd like to see there. I'd like to see Pinkie Pie Swear, So Great and Powerful, Taps, and I don't know. Those are my top three right now that I'd really like to come. But yeah, we still have yet to contact any one of them regarding this convention. Aside from musical artists, we're also planning on contacting artists, people who draw ponies and make pony art all the time. I think one of the top ones everybody's been talking about is John Josico. He's a fairly popular artist.
I actually just stumbled upon his stuff just a few days ago. Maybe for the first time I found him. He's very, very varied styles he uses in a lot of his things. I was very shocked. A lot of artists are very I don't want to say set in their ways, but, you know, they have their style and they stick to the one. But he seems to be pretty skilled at a few different ones. So
Pretty versatile, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to shake his hand. You know.
We have some ideas, like possibly even having like sort of how to draw panels or something like that, if we can get some artists to agree on that. But
oh yeah, running a drawing 101 kind of panel.
Yeah,
that sounds cool. Definitely. A lot of the conventions I go to most of them are either video gamey or very artistically based.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's usually what happens. So I don't see us having a problem coming up with artists who would would probably step in to do that. I think that's a pretty well off idea. Do we have any particular panels that we would like to focus on, aside from, I know we mentioned the dance and having DJs?
I'm not entirely sure how much of that I can actually talk about. I want to say that we're trying to get... I mean, we will be trying to get VAs to panel. We'll be trying to get other, I don't know, big pony, popular pony things to come and talk about what they're doing or whatever. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Pony Cart or...
I've heard of it. I've never really gotten around to looking at it.
Or
is that actually real? Like,
yeah.
I heard some people claiming that it was just some really good photoshopping.
No, there are actually videos of the game itself in progress. It's really cool. I checked it out, and I thought it was amazing that people are actually sitting down and making basically a Mario Kart ripoff with ponies, but it's awesome. Right. And then there's Fighting is Magic, made by Main 6. That's been in progress for a while. I don't know when they're planning on releasing, but they've made some...
Hey man, if we can get them to come on like BronyCon, if we can get them just to come on stage and, you know, that'll draw in so many people. So many people want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome, especially you know, especially if we have a whole weekend of a convention, which is, I believe, what we plan on, right? A 3-day?
I believe that's the plan right now.
Right, because, no offense, BronyCon, but one day is just not enough time for ponies.
Right.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And they learned their lesson. They have a 2-day coming up for the summer one, which is cool. They're on the right track, you know. Kind of baby steps, new convention, you know, new staff, people working. They're, you know, getting settled in. So, yeah, I honestly think, man, if we gave them, like, an hour, maybe 2 hours, then they could have done what they wanted to do at BronyCon. I actually saw the video where they wanted to give a couple people, you know, winners of trivia or whatever, they actually wanted to try and give
them a chance to play.
Yeah, give them a chance to play, and that was, oh my god, I was so ready to watch that. And
yeah, that was pretty great. I was there, and I was kind of hoping they'd pull me up on stage to
oh my
play
gosh,
that.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing.
It wouldn't have been too bad for me, because the character I would have played is not done yet, so I didn't feel so bad for missing out.
Right.
Applejack is awesome and all, but Rainbow Dash is where it's at. It's just how it is. Do we have this Pheasant Run, I believe it's called?
Yes.
It is a hotel, yes, or is it a convention center?
It is a hotel.
Okay. Do you have any idea around a maximum occupancy, or how many rooms, or anything?
We should not run into issues with that. I mean, from what I've seen, the venue is pretty darn big, and
Good.
The areas that we have rented out are pretty big as well. So I'd say for the room where like the main panels are going to be held should be able to seat, I'd say, a couple hundred, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Don't take my word for it. I've got to look at the
once we get a better floor layout plan. Right. Once the contract is signed, a lot of things are hanging on this contract. So hopefully by the end of the week, keep your hooves crossed.
I mean, we also have a bunch of back panel rooms that we're going to be using.
Oh yeah.
that I mean we're also looking for people to do fan run panels.
Oh yeah,
Whether
right
or not
here.
you're like a
Right here.
yeah.
This guy right here.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
right
be a
here.
popular Brony celebrity or anything. You just have to know what you want to do and sign up on the page. I think I don't know if
panel submission.
I think
don't
we have a
recall
panel.
seeing one,
You know what?
but I was on it like a week ago, so it could have been.
I think we made a page, but we haven't like actually attached it to the site yet.
Right.
So I'll have to get back to you on that. We
Yep.
need to put that up there
Yep.
as well.
By the way, shout out for all the ponies listening. If you are super amazing at web design and want to take part and want to be a member of the staff of this super awesome convention, go on the site and sign up as a staffer. We are still in our infancy stage, so please, if you think you've got something that we could use, do not hesitate to say something, because we are Bronies and we work together. It would be super awesome. So yeah, throwing that out there. I know a couple things that a lot of people are asking, that a lot of my listeners have been asking, because Equestria Inspired is the only place that talks about Midwestria as far as I know, and so I've got we've talked about this in person off of the air before, but to clarify for the listeners, we do in fact plan on having an artist's alley and a dealer's den. Yes,
definitely. That's
Awesome.
one of the big things that
is,
we're definitely going to have in there.
that is a key concern, especially with a lot of my friends and other various communities and such. There are lots of artists and lots of people who have merchandise that they make, like shirts from We Love Fine, that sort of stuff. That they want a place to sell that, and I think that would be just, you cannot have a convention without that. It's just one of those things. But the one panel, the one big time panel thing that we should totally talk about is the fact that I want to run a panel, or at least I want to run 2 panels there for sponsored by Equestria Inspired, of course. The details are in the works, but can very confidently say, being a member of the staff and of the website, that between me and you guys, we'll come up with something, but it's going to be huge. I got some cool ideas. I got episodes ready. I've got music videos, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be a big pony party.
Yeah. Well, we've definitely, I mean, I don't know. We've got to put up the submission thing, and then definitely I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of other people trying to get their panels in there too,
and hopefully we'll have a decent amount of space to actually pull them off. It'd be nice. BronyCon had to deal with lots of space issues. So many people in such a small space. That was my original concern with this convention, and with starting off any convention, is you have no idea how many people you're going to pull in. And so, like, the hotel and the people you're talking to, they're all like, how many people do you think you're going to bring in? We're like, I don't know. The pony fandom is huge, so we can get anywhere from 20 people to 200, 300, 400 people. The panel that I ran at a convention here in Chicago a few months back wasn't even a pony convention at all. I managed to pull in over 200 people. Like, that was in this one room, which was hilarious. I had my own little miniature BronyCon inside of another convention, and it was amazing. And I had no idea, like I know that ponies are big and they draw a huge crowd, but even from a non-pony convention, I still managed to have that many people come in. It's just you have no idea. So part of it is you don't want to, dealing with hotel budgeting and, convention planning and stuff, because funding is a problem, especially with a first-time convention, is that we can't afford to get, the most gigantic hotel in all of Illinois.
Yeah.
In order to fit all of these people, but at the same time, we can't get something that's too small, because we don't want to. We want to be building up on the successes of BronyCon and all the other things. Is that we know we're going to get a decent crowd, but we can't gauge what, because it's such a new thing. It's so I don't want to say unheard of, but it's only been done a few times, and it's every time they're overpacked, and it's like we're growing and we're gigantic, and it's awesome.
Well, we did put some polls out there on like Equestria Daily and such, and based on some of those polls, we thought we'd get around 500, but according to Chris, we should be actually expecting more, closer to 1,000 to attend.
Wow.
I mean, that would be great, but
that is amazing. That would be so awesome.
Yeah. There's one thing I have forgotten to mention. We're also we have a room like reserved for like karaoke and stuff, which is I mean, that'll be fun if enough people are interested in that. We'll put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be all 100% pony related, the karaoke or whatever, but I don't know. It should be fun. Our venue is definitely big enough to hold 8,000, if not more.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I have never seen a first-time convention. In all my years of con going, I've never seen a first-time con hit 1,000. That would be spectacular.
It could be. Yeah, so, I mean, hopefully we can do well enough in our advertisement to get people to come from all different places to attend. Because, I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be big, and it's...
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure people will enjoy it.
Knowing the Brony community, I don't really think advertisement's going to be a problem. Knowing how much word travels around and all that good stuff, especially with a convention that's easier to access than New York City for the rest of the country.
Yeah, word of mouth with the Brony community is like a wildfire. You say one thing and it gets around like instantly.
That's how it happened. That's how it happened with my secondary panel at the convention. Like I was actually approached by one of the staff members that, hey, dude, you pulled in so many people for this convention. You wanna run another panel? And I was like, yeah, dude, totally. There was so much stuff I couldn't cover in the first panel. We just ran out of time. We were having so much fun. I want to do another one, so I ran another one the next day. But it wasn't on the schedule. It wasn't in the cute little convention planner guide book, because it was so impromptu that there was no way people would have known otherwise, except for me talking to a few of my Brony friends and seeing people that I saw who were wearing pony paraphernalia like hats and sweaters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And despite the fact that it was totally not even planned ahead of time or not even on the schedule, we managed to pull back 150 plus people.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was, oh my god, that was so much, it was pure magic. Nothing else can explain is pure magic. But on that note, actually, we're going to bump up another song for your guys' listening pleasure. This is At the Gala, the 20% Cooler remix, and followed by that we're going to have the original 8-bit theme done by Mando Pony for Rainbow Dash. I hope you guys enjoy.
royals, they will meet their rarity. They will see I'm just as regal at the gala. I will find him, my Prince Charming, and how gallant he will be. He will treat me like a lady tonight at the gala.
Alrighty, we are back again. For those of you recently joining us, we have with me here today Sureshot, one of the amazing, awesome Brony guys who are helping spearhead this effort to get Midwestria, a Chicagoland, Central America Brony convention set up. We have BronyCon off to the east in New York, and we have Everfray just recently announced not too long ago in Seattle, far on the west. And for all of us Bronies who want our poniness, who can't make it to one of the sea or shining seas, we have the halfway in between, the convention that's easy for everyone to get to, because we're awesome like that. Sureshot here is we just spent a decent amount of time, a little over a half hour, talking about the convention and some of its highlights and where we're going. It's still rather in its infancy, but later this week, actually, as we have our hopes up, we believe that we'll be getting things in further gear with the contract signings and paperwork and all of that red tape and such. So stay tuned to the website. It is midwestria.org.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned. Check it out. If you want to help work with the con and be a part of something super amazing, then go sign up to be a staffer. You know, maybe we will have panel submissions set up sooner or later on there, so you can go, hey, I want to run a discussion panel on why Rainbow Dash is the best pony ever. I would surely sit in, if not spearhead that one. But moving on, we're actually now going to get into a little bit of detailing as to Sureshot personally. It's a little area I love going in, seeing how and why everyone we talk to, how everyone has become a Brony, how they came into it, and all of that good stuff. So, Mr. Sureshot, a little earlier you said that you found it and you decided to watch an episode. How exactly were you introduced? Did you have a friend, or was it just stumbled upon?
Well, initially, I go on Meme Base a lot. It's kind of I guess a popular website that I thought they have some funny things up there. And then I saw a bunch of pony stuff, and then noticed that they added a Bronies page. So I mean that kind of made me wonder what it was. And then my brother had told me his friend Jonah is really big into this, really loves this show, considers himself a Brony, and I didn't even know what that was at the time. I was just like, male fans of My Little Pony. That's weird.
A little girl show, yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with these people?
Yeah.
And then,
guilty.
and then, so, I mean, Jonah, the friend of my brother's, ended up posting the episode Dragon Shy on my Facebook wall, and I decided, I don't know, why not? I guess I should give it a try before judging it. And I liked the episode, but at that time it hadn't really piqued my interest. I don't know, I had a lot of other things going on. But
there's a difference between, hey, that's cute, and oh my god, I need to see more.
Mm-hmm. Right. And after I had watched that, I guess I came back to it later because I noticed a lot of pony stuff popping up on Facebook, on YouTube, on pretty much everything else. I think the first parody I watched was, I can't actually remember what it's called. It's the one where Celestia's setting people to the moon or whatever.
Friendship is Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friendship is Magic expletive.
Right. And then,
You're with the bananas.
Yes.
Yes, that's good times.
I saw that, and I thought it was pretty funny. But then, after that, I decided, hey, why shouldn't I give this show a chance? And started watching the first episode. And then after that, I don't know, I was hooked. I ended up watching the whole first season in one day. Wow, I really enjoyed that.
Right.
It's a great show, and I don't think anybody should judge it based on, I mean,
right.
It's
based on the fact that it's a little girl show.
Right.
Funny thing, that flash you're talking about is I was on a Skype call with a bunch of friends, and my that flash, I saw it on DeviantArt, and apparently that flash is recorded at a really high volume,
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to it on my headset. I thought I put myself on mute. Apparently I didn't. They were all talking and they were doing something. We were doing some game, and I took my turn, so I had a few minutes to wait. So I watched this thing. And it was really loud, but I didn't really know exactly how loud it was, and I didn't really know that it was loud enough for the microphone that is, hanging off of it from the boom, like 6 inches away. It was loud enough for the microphone to pick up on it.
Right.
So I'm sitting here and watching this, and the first time you watch it, you're just like, why? Why would they do that? That's so mean. And then you watch it again, and you're like, because once it sinks in, and you're all like, oh, that's right, because that's okay, it's kind of funny. And now everyone's like, to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I do with my friends all the time. All of my friends, even the ones who aren't bronies, I go, hey, do you like bananas? And they all just kind of go, I might like bananas. I cannot answer your question. It's so funny just seeing them. So it's just seeing them go, oh no. It's so good. But it was playing, and I was watching it for the first time, and it was so loud that it could be picked up on the boom of the microphone for everyone who was in the Skype game. And after I got done playing it, or watching it, I exited off, and I was like, whew, man, that was crazy. And all of a sudden, I had 5 different voices going, what the heck was that? And why is this Princess Celestia such a jerk? And I'm like, oh my god, what the, oh. And so actually one of them is a friend of mine who I do all these games with. He goes to conventions with me. He's all like, the standard really stubborn person. They're like, frezza, ponies and silly people watching your little girl shows, and ponies are annoying and they're everywhere, and I hate ponies. And I'm like, just wait till you watch it. And he's like, no, I'm never gonna watch it, it's for little girls. And after working away at him for a year at a convention, we were bored, we had nothing to do. Our next slot for our panel was like an hour away, and we were just tired because we've been walking around and carrying stuff all day. So we're just like, well, we don't want to do anything. Yeah, we don't want to go anywhere. We don't have any money to order food. So I was like, you're going to watch ponies. And he's like, fine, just the same reason I did. He's like, fine, I'll watch it so I know what I can talk about when I make fun of you silly people. And at the end of the second episode, like, he just turns to me with these, like a deer in the headlights. And he's just like, that was so epic. oh my god, that was one of the best things ever, because this guy can be really stubborn about things, and it was just so funny just watching him, like, almost creepily turning his head to look at me with those wide eyes. That was so deep, man. This is crazy. And then later that day, we went back downstairs into the artist alley, and we bugged one of his friends, which actually is a pretty good artist, and she drew both of us Brony badges. She even drew him a badge of himself as one, and it was priceless. It was priceless.
That's great.
Oh man, that day, in a matter of an hour, he went from, I hate ponies, to, yay, I have a badge now. Now I'm okay with publicly identifying myself as one in front of the rest of the people here.
Right.
It's so amazing how, 40 minutes of, an 8-year-old girl's TV show can change someone like that.
Yeah. I think, besides the show itself, and like all the lessons and everything, the community has really become close-knit and really, some bronies that I've met are some of the nicest, like, coolest people you could hang around. I mean, a lot of them are just very genuine people that, right. A lot of times people feel like they have to hide who they are and what it is they enjoy and stuff like that. And
right.
I'm glad that there's a group of people out there that don't care what other people think, and like what they do, and they're honest about it. It's I believe somebody in an article referred to it as neo-sincerity. I mean, being genuine to yourself is really an important thing for a lot of
it's
people.
very, very, yeah. It's unhealthy to, hide things. Like the old saying is, if you bottle it up for too long, you'll explode. Well, it works on many, many levels, not just with depression, but with various aspects of yourself and your mentality. I won't go into details. I won't bore people with a psychology lesson. But yeah, it's true, man. I've noticed that a lot of the people who are bronies and who are very open about it, especially in public, around, even around non-bronies, or people who have no idea what it is. Like, I wear my shirts all the time. I'm like, that's right, Blue Pony is best pony, man. And like, a lot of the people that I meet who are so open and honest and okay with that, they turn out to be really cool people. Really, really nice, genuine, cool, awesome people.
Right.
All right. Actually, we're gonna hit back to music here because I can't wait to put this song out there. I know everyone's heard it because Mando Pony is super famous pony from when it comes to music. Now that he's been, I don't know what is it, brought in by, hired on. I don't know, but he's now an official part of Everfree Radio. So props to him for becoming a part of something really huge. This song is called "A Long Way from Equestria." This is the old version, which I prefer. I like it. It's a bit more simple. It gets the mood across. It's a little more sad, which is the point of the song. And I don't really like sad, but this isn't really just a song to make you sad. At the end, it's more of a call to action, a reminder that it's us. This is our world, and we need to help make it better. And so, anyway, I'm going to stop talking about it. This song is called "A Long Way from Equestria" by Mando Pony. And next off, right after that, a song by the awesomest person ever, Denotive. This song is his super famous mix, one of his first he ever put down in the Brony community, After Hours with Rarity. So here you go, guys. Enjoy.
He was different from the rest of the world. He chose the lovely every time. With a smile, he would bravely soldier on. Yeah, was that such a crime? He did not wear cynicism well. He chose the lovely every time. And they cut him down. The world cut him down. Yeah, being peaceful was his crime. And I don't understand the way we behave. Yeah, this world of ours, this world we live in, we're a long way from Equestria. We're a long, long way. We're a long way from Equestria. Long, long way. She dared to love everybody. Yeah, she was nothing but kind. And the world told her she was wrong. Yeah, there must be something wrong with her mind. And she was just a child amongst thieves. Just a child looking for love. Yeah, all the grown-ups in the world told her she was wrong to believe in something we're all dreaming of. And I don't understand the wicked things we do in this world of ours, this world we live in. We're a long way from Equestria. We're a long, long way. We're a long way from Equestria. we're a long, long way. And I will never give up the fight. I will never surrender to the hate. I know this world ain't perfect at all, but the world is just what we create. So let's make love and let's make friends. Oh, let's take time to make amends. Let's make the world more like Equestria. Equestria. We're a long way from Equestria. We're a long, long way. Long way from Equestria. Long, long way. Long, long way.
Obviously, this situation just calls for a little home charm.
Alrighty, we are back. Thank you all for listening to Equestria Inspired. This is Hour 2. Well, the beginning of Hour 2 of our awesome live show for today. We've got some good songs. That last song was After Hours with Rarity, done by Denotive. Super awesome guy. If any of you want to know what he's like, go check him out on YouTube, and also crank back a week or so on our website, because we did a super amazing 2-hour, technically the interview was 3.5 hours long, with him and the person he worked with, Zako, also an amazing artist. They worked together on a song called Hand for Hoof, which was a Conversion Bureau inspired, loosely inspired song. Amazing song. Check it out. Also, of course, shameless plugging about the super amazing interview, because they were super amazing and it was tons of fun, and we ended up talking on Skype for hours, and I whittled it down to like 2.5 hours. Oh my gosh, there was just so much stuff. Plus I played the song in there, so it's all good. But anyway, we are back here. Special guest Sureshot, one of the many awesome Bronies, helping spearhead this convention, getting Midwestria going. We had left off where we last left our heroes off. We were talking about, the more personal Brony things, how it happened, where he comes from. And now, I would like, if you could, to touch base on some of the current events, current things you do, maybe a day in the life of Sureshot the Brony.
Well, I haven't been to all that many meetups, but I mean, probably within the past month, almost every Saturday I've been going to one. This last weekend, I hung out with a lot of the other people who are part of the direction staff of Midwestria. So, and that was a great time. And then previous to that, I went to the Draw Friend meetup, and I'm trying to remember where it was at, but that's besides the point. Anyway, it's always fun to go and meet up with other people, and especially when they know you're helping out with something that's probably big to them too. The convention, we're expecting to be very popular among the Bronies. So yeah.
So you do the the local meetups, for those of you who maybe aren't local, or maybe some of you who are listening who don't know. There is, in fact, there might even be 2 different local Brony groups that do meetups. This particular one seems to do them every couple weeks to every month, as I've seen. I've only been able to go to the Christmas present, or now, what is now known as the Hearth's Warming Eve present exchange. That was fun. I hope that we can come up with like a home base. I think that would be super cool if we had like a place that we go to. I don't know, so I want to say somebody's house, because that'd be cool if we just have a place that everyone could go.
Right.
Whatever. That's just me.
No, I that would be great, and I think we may have some type of plan in the future to have some kind of central meeting spot. But I mean, for anybody who doesn't already know, on Facebook we have the Midwest Brony Division page, which is, I mean, that's where a lot of our information is. A lot of the events are listed on that page as well. A lot of it is also just discussions about episodes, upcoming events. Basically, in a way, sometimes pony politics, especially when it came to the whole Derpy thing. That was like one of the first pages to really blow up about it. But I thought it. I mean, yeah, we have like 300 something people on there. Anybody else who wants to join, feel free to join. I think we're actually starting to get some kind of setup in terms of like rules as to what you can and can't post, because we've been having a lot of people posting like spoilers and stuff on Saturdays and crap like that. And yeah, I kind of I dislike it when people do that. So
yeah, that's rude.
We're gonna set up some kind of document just to basically state the basic rules.
Yeah.
And yeah,
gonna have to love and tolerate them extra hard.
Right. I mean, in any case, had there been any arguments they're usually settled fairly quickly and not
Right.
really anything volatile, whatever.
All right.
So,
Mr. Sureshot, what do you in your poniness? What do you do? What is your deal? How do you watch episodes? Do you wake up Saturday morning and watch them as they air? What's your setup?
I would watch them Saturday mornings. However, I do not have the hub on my cable or whatever.
Oh.
So I usually wait for them to pop up on YouTube, and then I watch them, and usually end up watching them a couple times.
Right.
This Fluttershy episode, I had a hard. I was told that Derpy shows up in the crowd, and I couldn't find her. But I just found
I didn't
yesterday.
catch her.
Yeah, she's in there, and then she's also in the scene where Fluttershy is trying to get. I think it's like when she's trying to get the cherry.
Right.
So
yeah, I'll have to check that. See, I when I miss Derpy, it's not too big a deal because I go to my friends up in Wisconsin every month or so, and so I rewatch because they don't get the hub either, and I always save them onto my terabyte hard drive and bring it on up. And so we always, once a month, there's a little miniature pony party up in Wisconsin with like a house full of like, 4 or 5 guys, all, 20 and up, anywhere from 25 to I think one of them's in his late 40s. He's the one who suggested this. The oldest guy, the guy in his 40s, it was his idea. It wasn't even me. Which is the best part, is that he's like, hey, let's watch ponies. And I was like, you came to the right guy. And so like every month there's a little mini pony party there where everyone in the house sits down and we watch the new My Little Pony episodes all together. And it's so adorable, like we're own strange misfit family.
right.
And we all have fun playing Find Derpy in every episode. And so, if I don't catch it on my own, chances are somebody's gonna... Because one person watches the show just for Derpy. And, like, he's all about Derpy. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Something I kind of find interesting on our Midwest Brony Division page, there's actually been I believe a dramatic increase of female bronies joining the group and such. And it's like, hey, so it isn't just a bunch of strange older males watching.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of 20-year-old
kids.
guys with nothing to do. It's actually hitting the female crowd. Yay!
Yeah. So
this
this
means I might have a girlfriend someday that I can actually talk about ponies with, which is an awkward thing to think of. You're like, wait a minute. This show was made for girls, and yet I have no girls to talk to. That's an awkward thought.
Right. Like the last meeting or meetup thing I went to, it was like half and half. It was like
That's cool.
half guys, half girls. So, but all the same, I've got to say, I already know that this might be something that they probably find irritating, as they've actually stated. Bronies who only go to the meetups to meet brony girls irritate the out of them. So I would avoid.
I don't think I've seen any of them, but that would be interesting. I go to Brony meetups to talk about ponies.
Yes.
Like, if you want to go somewhere to meet girls, isn't that what, like, real life
Go
is
to a
for?
dating site or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So, let's see. I think that's about it. Oh, of course. Now, the topic that I have been waiting for. Unfortunately, this all happened, these shenanigans, this controversy happened about a week or so after my last live show, so I couldn't touch base on it. I've been waiting so long to finally cover this subject, to see what people have to say, and it's time. I personally am quite unhappy with what has happened to Derpy. All this controversy, all of these silly flame wars that have been going on everywhere, it's kind of saddening. For any of you who have no idea what's going on, I do have some part-time bronies, some soft-core bronies out there, so for those of you who do not know exactly what is all going over there, a couple episodes ago, during one of Applejack's few episodes this season, maybe it's the only one, can't
There's
Poor Apple.
Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 too. But
Well, yeah, that one
came
just
after, I
out.
believe.
That's true. Poor Applejack's not getting a lot of FaceTime this season. But her episode was stolen from her because the beginning of the episode, Rainbow Dash gets struck, her tail, she barely evades getting struck by lightning, and it manages to singe her tail. And during that little specific part, she calls Derpy by her name, therefore making Derpy canon. You know, this has been in the works for this has been in the works for almost, if not over a year now, because they make, like, the guys at Studio B, they're cranking out writing, animating, and voicing all this stuff almost over a year in advance, if not more. You know, by the time season 1 My Little Pony stuff hit the TVs and everything, they were already working on season 2 stuff. So it's like, this has been a long time in the making. This wasn't some random spontaneous idea that they went, hey, look, whatever. We hit them hard with how much we love Derpy last year, and that's why we saw it this year. It takes a while to get that stuff going. And then they go up in the show, it goes up, and you see Derpy, and her eyes are crossed. And, you know, right when you think it couldn't get any better because everyone's been praying that her name is canon, and everyone's so happy, she talks. And I love it because she talks in this silly, goofy, androgynous voice. I always thought that Derpy would be a boy, because, well, Lauren Faust has very openly admitted on several occasions that she is a feminist. And, you know, to each their own, whatever. But it is a sad truth that almost all male ponies in the show are either jerks or idiots. Take the bullies from, you know, Rainbow Dash bullies from the Sonic Rainbow episode, or the Diamond Dogs were all males, they were stupid. And, of course, Snips and Snails, their names came from a girl's little jump rope rhyme debating just how bad and gross boys are. You know, what are boys made of? Snips and snails and puppy dog tails. And so it's in there, and it's saddening. And so I figured, well, I guess that they're going to make Derpy a boy. You know, the face, you know, the face shape indicates a girl, you know, so whatever. Wasn't too big of a deal, but, you know, we live in hope. So they gave her an androgynous voice, and I was like, well, not a boy per se, close enough, I'm cool with that. And she's hilarious, she's adorable, they finally give her screen time, they give her movement, she does stuff, she jumps, she flies, she sits, they animate her in ways that they've never done that before, because normally she's just sitting there, or just standing there in the background, or something. And it's so nice, all this work they went through, because of us. Derpy, since day one, has been the very manifestation of what My Little Pony has become. It is the coupling of us as Bronies and Studio B and Hasbro and all of that. That is them making something on accident, us going, we love it, and this is how much we love it, and Studio B going, holy cow, these guys really love it, they love us, you know, we'll give them the little tip of the hat. And so they've done that. They've given us the tip of the hat. They've turned her into an Easter egg character, which sated me enough. I was happy just from that. I was like, wow, that's awesome. They listen to us. They know that they like it, and that's great. And then they gave her a voice, and it was just like, that was a day to forever be celebrated by everyone. Honestly, it was amazing. Everyone was happy that I know of. I have not heard, I talked to a lot of people, and I have not heard anyone anywhere be upset about this, find it offensive or whatever. But Derpyhooves is not only just a character that we love and, you know, cool and hilarious that we invented, but she is literally she is the avatar of the amazing connection that proves how amazing this show is, because it's A, a good show, but B, they listen to their fan base, and they love their fan base, and they talk to us, they listen to us. I don't know any other show I've ever seen that has been this gracious to its fans who love it, and it's deeply appreciated, and they took a big step in doing this. And then, we don't really have any real details, or at least I don't have any super hardcore facts and details about exactly what happened. Apparently there was a couple jerks who decided to write very angry letters to people who were just doing their jobs, saying that they found it offensive. They thought that Derpyhooves was ableist, that she was offensive, and that she was making fun of, the mentally handicapped, which was not really true. No one was making fun of her. It was just who she is. She's cute, she's adorable, she's klutzy, she's a little fluffy-brained, sure, but so is Pinkie Pie. I mean, she's so many episodes, jokes go right over her head. She doesn't have any idea. Pinkie Pie is also very, I don't want to say ditzy, but she's not all there. And that they've hammered that home a long time ago. They have absolutely no problem making characters look dumb, because Snips and Snails have come back on several episodes, and I don't see people collaborating to get their name changed and their voices redone, whatever. So we don't know exactly what happened or why, but it seems as though some people were jerks and decided to take away, or at least to attempt to take away from us, what we love and cherish most. Or at least, the single thing that someone can do to hurt us as a fandom, as a group, and as a, take away our connection, the one thing that is the living, breathing essence between us and the show. And well, apparently it worked. Hasbro, whoever made the decision, probably not Studio B, because they're cool and they're creative and they're amazing. Probably Hasbro. We don't know who, so I'm not giving any official names. But whoever was in charge, whoever made the call, decided, instead of listening to reason, they decided to listen to a couple of jerks who wouldn't really have any true effect on anything, and push away the hundreds upon thousands of people, the fans. They decide to bend over, submit to the will of a couple jerks who wanted to do something to hurt people or whatever, or who made claims of that something that really isn't offensive. They claimed that it was highly offensive. And you cannot say that Derpy is offensive and see Pinkie Pie and see Snips and Snails. They're both klutzy, dipsy, kind of doofy characters. You cannot say that Derpy is this terrible thing and stand there and be completely silent about Snips, Snails, and Pinkie Pie. There's more to it. There's more motive besides, just being offended. But whoever was in charge, whether Hasbro or whatever, they decide to submit to the will of a few jerks and push away the fandom, instead of listening to the thousands, literally hundreds of thousands of emails, mails, phone calls, petitions, all of these things, all of us, all the art that when we heard this was going on, all of the art that's been splattered all over the internet, on Twitter, Save Derpy, all of this stuff everywhere, and they decided to bend over backwards to a couple of jerks instead of listening to the hundreds of thousands of fans that love them, support them, made this show what it is, in a sense. Not, we know that Lauren Faust made the show, what it is, but we've made the show and a lot of things around it, a lot of the things surrounding it, we made it what it is, and we are helping to build it and bring it, because if it wasn't for all of us crazy bronies loving the show so much, it would not be nearly as popular, because word of mouth is most of their advertising. Otherwise, because of how we know everyone is initially exposed, they go, nah, it's a show for little girls. We're a pretty big part of this, and it's so ironic and so weird that a TV, or not a TV show or a TV station, but Hasbro, whatever one would call them, a conglomerate or whatever, it's so weird that they would bend over for a couple of idiots instead of going, well, a couple of these people say something, and it's all well and good, and it may or may not have its real backing, But we have these hundreds of thousands of people that not only love this, but they love it so much that they are flooding our email boxes, keeping our phone lines busy, all of this stuff. Or we're going to ignore all of the people that love us, the people that we're making the show for, the people that are sitting here begging for us to make stuff so they can throw their money at us. No, we're going to forget all of them. We're going to fix this to where it is politically correct, destroy everything about this character, change her to make it so you can appease the 10 idiots or whatever that decided that it was no good, and break the hearts of hundreds of thousands of people. And despite the fact that Derpy will live on forever in our hearts and souls as the the crazy-eyed male mare that she is, with the bubbly cutie mark, who I was hoping to someday see an episode talking about her, explaining somehow how she got that, but now I don't really see that happening due to all of this nonsense. It is just, it's so weird. If I was running a business, I would go, yeah, well, we'll forget the 20 people who said that they won't buy our stuff. How about the 100,000 people that love this character so much that they want us, they're asking us, they're begging us to make merchandise of this character? Like, I don't have a degree in business and economics and all that stuff, so I guess there's something I'm missing. But I'm going to stop rambling, because I'm going to give our guest speaker here some time to talk.
All right. Well, my personal opinion on this whole thing is simply just that, I personally don't believe that they should have changed her character, just because, obviously, we love her, and there are a bunch of other, there was that whole Save Derpy thing, there was that petition on change.org.com or whatever that amassed around 23,000 signatures. I feel that was a really big thing, and I thought we won. But I feel the biggest issue is just that Hasbro in no way, shape, or form had addressed the reason why they needed to make the change until after it was done, until after everybody was like kind of heard about it. Like,
right. They still haven't really given any real vocalization about what's going on.
There was an article by the writer of that episode where she said, she herself has a mentally handicapped son and did not find the name Derpy offensive, but according to 10 out of 200 emails, she said she had 200 great positive emails after that episode had come out, but there were 10 or so that said that episode is ableist, that episode makes mentally handicapped people look bad or whatever, and personally, she said she disagreed, but she did agree with the decision to change it simply because of the fact that she doesn't, if she had known...
found out, once she did enough digging on the internet and went somewhere and found out that some people do use Derpy as a way to mock mentally handicapped people. That's a sad thing about the internet nowadays, is you can find people use words to refer to anything in any way, shape, or form. And
right.
It's you can't do anything about it. So she went to this one place where a bunch of jerks used the term not how it was originally created and meant to be, and because of, again, those few jerks, she decided that it had to be done away with.
Overall, all the same, it actually wasn't her choice. She said Hasbro had contacted her about the issue, and she just simply said, I believe she said, I don't know that I believe that it needs to be changed, but do what you believe is best for... for one, all the same, although we do have a very, very big fan base behind My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, all the same, that show and the toys and whatever, those initially, they were made for little girls. And that's who they're trying to please, and if their parents are getting angry about a character, which we don't even know for sure that it was parents that was that were complaining about this character Derpyhooves or whatever, but the emails that they were sent saying all these things. They couldn't afford to have some kind of like big controversy over
Civil
whether
suit or something
like that, whether the character was offensive or not. And I mean, I believe even people outside of the fan base would not have seen Derpy as being something offensive.
Yeah, everyone, like, even people who aren't... Because I've shown pictures of Derpy and stuff to all of my friends, even my anti-Brony friends, and they're like, oh, she's adorable, or showed them comics of her, and they're like, oh, she's goofy, I love Goopy. Everyone needs more silly characters every show. I personally love silly shows in every... Or silly characters in every show. I watched Friends when it was on, and Joey and Phoebe were my favorites.
Right.
Like, anyone would compare Joey to be the Derpy of the six. He's totally goofy. He doesn't quite get it all the time. Like Pinkie Pie, a lot of the jokes and stuff fly right over him, and it's just like, but people don't complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There are a lot of these other characters in a lot of other cartoons, like Goofy,
yes.
Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy. There are a bunch of other shows with I can't remember the name of the character, but there's this guy in The Simpsons that's pretty much just the same way. I mean, for one, they didn't really give Derpy enough airtime that you could be convinced that she's stupid or anything like that, and that really wasn't the case at all. I mean, the voice actress was Tabitha St. Germain, who did her voice, based it off of a little boy in her neighborhood who sounds pretty much like that, and she didn't mean it to mean her to sound mentally handicapped in any way. That wasn't the intention.
Silly. There's a difference. Yeah, I feel if they gave her like a few more minutes of airtime, that they would have done the whole, she's a normal pony like everyone else. She lives there, she's nice, she means well, she's happy, she's sweet, she's just clumsy and a little silly. I mean, everything about Pinkie Pie is silly. Her entire existence, the essence, is silliness for her. And everyone goes crazy for it. Mm-hmm. And now that there's competition...
And the thing I find funny is that Derpy's initial name was supposed to be Ditsy Doo, and Ditsy in and of itself, being an actually defined word, basically does kind of have the connotation that she's stupid or something like that, or things go over her head or whatever.
Silly, something.
I mean, but all the same, changing her name from Ditsy to Derpy, or Derpy to Ditsy, either which way, I feel like somebody would still get offended, and it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, no matter what you do, you can't please everyone, whether it's one name or the other name. Some people want this name, some people want that name. No matter what you do, you're going to have people who are upset because, they've fed into this character so much now that some people, they've fed into it enough to give them a little taste, but they gave everybody Derpy so that they could continue. They didn't change her or give any real stuff on her, so that she could still be however we wanted her to be in our comics and everything. That was Lauren Faust's original idea, is that she found out how much everybody loved her, but she even stated it in an interview or somewhere, that she specifically didn't give Derpy any super real character, so that it wouldn't alter, so it wouldn't interfere with how everybody loves her, because everybody loves Derpy for one reason or another. Muffins, or the fact some people think that little adorable tiny little unicorn, a lot of people took off running with the fact that this unicorn was her daughter somehow, and she stayed away from it specifically to safely harbor everyone's feelings and everyone's little presumptions about her, and how everyone went off running with her in their own little ways. And when they finally made the decision to take that step forward, of course they're going to have some people who are upset about it, because Derpy ended up not being either the name or the personality or the kind of voice or something
that somebody had imagined initially.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's understand all the same. I mean, at first when Derpy had been shown, I was really, really, really happy about it. It was cool. I mean, it was a big tip of the hat to the fan base, showing that they care about us. I mean, all the same, it doesn't take away the fact that they had initially done that for us because I mean they obviously know how much it means to us, and it's a big thing. But all the same, they have to watch their tails too. But yeah, no, I believe it is really silly that they changed that due to a very small number of people who are complaining about her being offensive. Because actually, initially at the start of the show, there was a big thing about Rainbow Dash being somewhat of an offensive character, being due to her tomboyish nature and stuff like that, and having the rainbow-colored hair. I mean, people essentially assuming that she's some kind of I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the fact if they were quiet about it. My biggest issue is that not only did we make a big deal about it, but it was such a huge deal for us because it was such a big deal for them. Like, if these people went, hey, we're offended by this, and this was a big deal, and we need this to be fixed and stopped, and whatever, and this cannot go on. If Hasbro, since Hasbro decided to go, okay, well, we're going to listen to a few idiots instead of the people that actually matter, you'd think that they would, as a company who's surrounded by thousands of people that love them now, you would think that they'd be a bit more tactful about it, or at least a bit more discreet. Mm-hmm. Because, it started, they went everywhere. They went to We Love Fine, they went to a bunch of stores that work with them and said, you have to take all of your derpy stuff off of your shelves. You can't sell derpy stuff anymore. You can't do this. You can't do that. They made as big of a deal as possible about this.
Initially,
they ripped everything off the shelves. They said, we can't talk about this. We can't talk about this. Something is big. Here's this huge controversy, and then they had to add insult to injury by going, now we're going to take back the episode and we're going to fix it and we're going to put it back so everyone can see that we have changed this. I think that was really just bad.
Yeah.
If they were gonna go, okay, we can't do this anymore. That was an accident, but it's already there and done, and the damage is already done. The quote unquote damage has already been done. It's there. Changing it is only going to tick off the people that like it. There's no need to do that. All I had to do was sit down and go, okay, from now on, we've learned our lesson. We can't have Derpy be called Derpy anymore. From now on, we won't have her featured in any episodes anymore. From now on, we had this, we had a problem, we got our feedback, and we're done. We move on. It could have been discreet. They could have just gone and stayed in Studio B and said, all right, Hasbro says we can't do that anymore, so we won't. But instead, Hasbro had to have this huge spiel about it everywhere, ripping stuff off of shelves only to put it back on a week later. What was that supposed to accomplish aside from peeving everyone who likes it? It's really upsetting for people who think really deeply on these things, like me, who look past, who try and understand the motives and the psychology behind all of these actions and everything. Is what were they thinking when they decided to rip everything off and make all these huge statements and say that this can't happen? And
my personal issue with what happened was simply that initially it was a step forward for fan bases in general to have something fan made put in there, but then letting it get removed because a few people were unhappy about it was basically saying that all the minorities, all the people that don't really care about the show in general, don't care about. It kind of puts that whole animator to fan connection. It kind of throws it out the window.
Oh yeah,
it's altogether, it's really. If they had just ignored the whole thing, ignored the emails and whatever. For one, there would have been a bigger. I believe after that episode, I felt like there was a huge blow up of the fan base, getting bigger. because of it.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
everybody wants to have some kind of connection to the people that are creating the shows that they love if they're really, really a big fan. But all the same, that kind of puts it out the window for a lot of other people too, who make these shows and might make something that's slightly offensive and might end up having to censor and or take it out because I don't know, there are a couple people that get irritated, or I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me. I don't personally find what they did to be they didn't deal with it in a rational way.
Right.
Instead, it was just like they freaked out and dealt with it as quickly as they could. And I mean, for what the other thing that really bothered me was that there were emails sent from employees of Hasbro stating that Derpy would be okay, Derpy will be fine, she'll be in more episodes, and that they aren't taking her out and stuff like that. However, they did change her. But so I mean, had they initially issued a statement saying that we had to take out her name because of either copyright lawsuit or because of a potential copyright lawsuit and or because of the possible offensive nature of the name, I believe the fandom would have handled it much better, and they wouldn't have received quite as many emails and such as they did.
Yeah.
So
if they handled the situation a bit more rationally and professionally, this would have been very different. But it was so chaotic and just so haphazardous. It was just it was a headache, and it just only served to make everyone more upset. You know, us, them, everyone. It just complicated everyone's lives. You know, you'd think for a company who's had this line of product for, I think, as long as I've been alive, and you know, they've been doing generations and generations of this show, other shows. You know, it's like you would think that they would have the know-how on how to handle a situation. They'd have experience. Like, obviously, they've never dealt with a fandom as awkward
quite
as
as
us.
big, or I don't know. I mean, the Transformers fan base is pretty big, but all the same.
It's huge, but that is their projected
audience, basically.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they aim to do. So, you know, they have people hired on to do that. Us, on the other hand, they're a little more. They don't really know how to handle us. And unfortunately, I guess their ideas wouldn't have had such an impact. You know, hindsight now, thinking, you know, their choices may have not have been as harshly met if it wasn't for us. Because, you know, little 8-year-old girls aren't going to know, you know, they're not going to know that for 1 week on some website, they don't have enough. Most 8-year-old girls that I know, that I would assume, don't have the shopping power to go online to all their favorite online websites and buy shirts on a whim, you know.
Right.
So, you know, I guess it was a bit more subtle for their projected age group. But yeah, honestly, it's almost been 2 years now. You would think that they would do something. I mean, Studio B's got it under control. They go, these guys love us. These guys are who we're reaching out to, despite the fact that it's a show for little girls. These are the people we're hitting, so we're going to say thank you. And they give them the tip of the hats. Hasbro's just all like, we don't care.
I mean, overall, I'm not going to say that it's Hasbro's fault either, because, I mean, all the same, it is the fault of the groups of people that were up against us, which, for all we know, could have either could have just been trolls and or. I mean, I can't honestly see any parents even knowing the possible connotation of the word derpy or ever thinking that it's offensive at all.
How many parents these days, like, seriously, all of the people that like My Little Pony are people who's, like, not all the people, but the mainstream group of people who love My Little Pony are people who spend lots of time on the internet. That's how they were initially introduced to it. Not many people sit there watching little girls shows every morning and just so happen to go, oh my god, this is good now.
Right.
So
and
it's like,
so it really irritated me that I feel like a majority of the complaints were probably from troll groups like There's the one that's big on YouTube, NCF, that got a lot of Brony music removed from the web for a while, like Alex S's stuff and Glaze or whatever. They were attacking anything they could using copyright claims or saying it's offensive material or whatever, and YouTube just complied as quickly as they could and took down a lot of stuff.
They also they cease and desisted the Pony Archive.
Yeah. Well, Hasbro did that themselves because
but it was like that's another thing that I get to snark at Hasbro about. It's one thing if they go, hey, take our stuff down because you're costing us money. You know, if they had if they had a box set of all the My Little Pony episodes, I would go, okay, because that is piracy, and you are losing money, and I can understand that. But when they have, 2 different DVDs out with 2 or 3 episodes each, there is no way for people who want to see this episode to see the episode. And even though it's technically piracy, that is the best form of we are the best form of advertising that Hasbro has ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, without us, I don't think the My Little Pony fan base right now would be half as big as it is right now. It's definitely, I mean, it's all over the world right now because of what we've put up online, on YouTube, on Equestria Daily, on Facebook, on everything else. We've got forums dedicated solely to this show, and everybody knows it. Pretty much everybody that I know knows about this show now, and it's
everyone around me knows about the show because of me, and I'm not the only person who's this vocal about something they like. So it's, it is free advertising. It is not only are we their best kind of advertising, but obviously what we're doing and the way we're doing it is the best kind of advertising they've ever had, and it's also doesn't cost them a dime.
Right.
And now they're like, take it down because it's copyright infringement. And it's like, sure, I understand, and sure it's based off the law, and okay, technicality, sure, but I would be a lot less ticked off about it if they had some way for us to get this.
I believe they'll eventually figure out some type of method of pleasing the whole fan base, and it may or may not be through a box set or something. But I mean, I think one of their things that they did that was actually a really cool thing was putting it up on iTunes. But then again, I don't know if all the complaints about the episode went to Apple and then Apple complained to Hasbro or what. But everybody was receiving emails regarding the subject, and I understand, but all the same, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. It affects a lot of people more than just their own company when it comes to animation groups and having to appease others by being politically correct in every sense of the word. And it just hopefully they'll learn from this, and hopefully I wouldn't expect them to call her Derpy again, or
that's not
maybe she'll have a speaking role again, but I don't know.
It'll be with the new voice and not the good voice.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, the only reason I think it was
just being
bad
devolved,
is that
she's being devolved back into the background pony with no voice and no name again.
Right.
Which is better than nothing, sure, but it's like, don't give us something and then take it away.
Yeah, the only thing that bothered me about the new voice was the whole... I mean, it didn't sound like there was any personality really put into it. And then also, I mean, it was... Instead of doing the pre-dub type thing that they usually do, they record the lines and then animate the episode. It was the other way around, and it just didn't come out like it should have.
Right, plus Ashley Ball did not sound happy at all with her part in that new recording. And that new voice, I have no idea who did the new Derpy voice, but it's kind of awkward how she sounds kind of ditzy. Not much personality, but what little personality I could procure from the few lines that she had, she sounded kind of ditzy. And it's like, it's the same thing. Like, if the reason that you're doing all of this is because she's making, it sounds, she's offensive to mentally handicapped people, she still sounds kind of ditzy, but you had to go through all of this work to change all of this stuff, and it's like, sad face.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that they were at least able to temporarily reach out to the fans, but hopefully we'll see more. I don't know how to
At least she'll stay in the background,
fan.
hopefully.
Yeah, I'd like to see more fan connection to the studio that makes it, but it may have to be in a different form.
Yep. We're gonna have to have something formally known as Derpy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever. Who knows? And yes, there's a lot of negative things have been said by me, of course, but I don't know. I guess I don't want people to take it as flaming, because I haven't really said anything offensive. I don't think. It was just stating facts in a fairly opinionated manner, I guess. I guess we could call it constructive criticism with a hint of anger, a hint of disappointment. Hasbro, I am disappointed. But Studio B, Lauren Faust, all the guys, the voice actresses, everyone who actually does all the cartooning, you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. I doubt you'll ever listen to this, because we're just another one of those pony fan sites. But if you guys do listen to it, you guys are amazing. We know that beautiful thing, that beautiful connection that we had as Bronies to you guys was beautiful, and we cherished it, and you cherished it. And you gave us exactly what we wanted. And we loved it. Never, ever think that we did not love it, because we loved it. It was the happiest day in so many lives. If you would go online and look up the day that episode came out, and you go to any of those pony sites, I can almost personally guarantee you that every single one of those sites had something positive and happy and excited to say about Derpy speaking in the episode that day. Like, all of them. They were all happy. Everyone was rejoicing. Everyone. It was just, and we know that you had to take part in changing things, and, we don't blame you, because, chain of command and all that stuff. We love you guys. We thank you so much for giving us exactly what we've been asking for so long now. And we really, really do appreciate it so much. And it's just, we're sorry that it had to end like this. We're sorry. We know that you guys are too. You guys obviously were having fun with this, and so were we, and it was great. And never, ever, don't let this end off. Don't let this experience, based on whoever's reactions, don't let this experience, this whole charade, leave you guys with a bad taste in your mouth. Because we love it and we appreciate it, and even if it didn't end up the way we wanted it to, you gave us what we wanted, and we know that, and we appreciate that, and it's just, we will treasure it forever, no matter what Hasbro does about it, or whoever's in charge who makes these calls. The message that you wanted to give to us has been received, and we love it, and we love you guys for it.
So, anyways, we spoke about the convention and everything that I can really say at this point. So if you are looking for updates in any way, just keep checking back to the Midwestria site, and you add us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and a Google Plus page. So just look us up. We will continue to try and update and put out any information that we have about the convention. So thank you for your time and everything.
Thank you for coming and showing and talking. It was awesome. It was great. Nice to talk about, Derpy, get your opinion on there, talking about the convention. Very nice. Everyone, again, for the last time, this is Sureshot, an amazing member, spearheading the efforts to get Midwestria, the Chicago Brony convention, up off the ground. We're very, very glad to have him. It's been great to have you, talk to you. I can't wait to work off the air with you some more on the show.
All right.
But, for now, we are going to say goodbye, and I'm going to throw on another couple songs for you guys to listen to before we wrap these things up. Enjoy more music from Denotive.
It's sad we're worlds apart. There'll have to be a way for us to start. You're in an alternate reality. I know that you're not real, except for what I feel. I want you buried in my heart. The way you look at me with such ferocity, it's making me just fall apart. Tell me, is this wrong? There's nothing for me here but solitude and fear. Your bright colors make it clear. If I were to leave, what more could I be than just some passing stranger? This is my life, this is my dream, this is my fantasy. Wanting more, wanting your arm to be so near to me. This is my life, this is my dream, this is my fantasy. Wishing for more, wishing your arm to be so near to me. This is my life, this is my dream, this is my fantasy.
Alrighty, and we are now wrapping up this month's episode. Live broadcast, Equestria Inspired, brought to you by your esteemed host, Dryak Nazok. Thank you again for listening. I hope you guys had some fun. I hope that some of the things that we talked about, maybe some of the views, choices, and opinions we talked about were something you guys. Some of the voices we are in congruence with our opinions and choices and such, and if not, or if so, please go online, hit our forum. We got the forum, equestriainspired.net. Get up the forum, sign up if you're not already signed up, because there's lots of stuff to do there. Go on there, go review us. I can take it. I'm a big pony. Give us some ideas, give us some opinions. We got the review section, discussions. That's what's for you guys. Go on there, talk about what you want to talk about, say what you feel needs to be said. Did you like an episode? Did you hate an episode? Did you want something different? Is there a song that you really like? Is there a picture that you just die for every time? It's there. Go there, go on the forums, fill it up with your heart's desire. And of course, don't forget, if you have any comments, feel free to post a comment on the post denoting this broadcast. But for your guys' listening pleasure, we are going to give to you our little closing song done by Eurobeat Brony. This is Luna, Nightmare Mode. This is one of my favorites, and I feel that it is a fitting outro to our show. So again, thank you all for listening so very much. It is very deeply appreciated. I love you guys for listening and supporting me and listening to me ramble on at times, I guess. Sorry, but when I get passionate, I talk, and I talk hard, and I talk long. So anyway, thank you all for listening. It is very, very much appreciated. Go on the site, share this with your friends. We will eventually get the episode edited for those of you who could not make it and could not listen to it live. It will be posted on our channel on YouTube and on the site eventually once I get it cut down and edited and all pretty like. And again, thank you so much for listening. I love each and every one of you. Love and tolerate, remember. Derpy will live on forever in our hearts the way she has always meant to be. Now for our outro song. Thank you again. This is Dryak Nazok signing out.
to fade. Don't you see that there is vengeance in my eyes? Who won't you cry for me? I'm as lonely as I'll ever be. I am forcing back into the start. Is there any way to fix a broken heart? Infinite despise and endless jealousy bottled in my soul has erupted as I'm tearing through the skies. Days turn into years and into centuries. Patience had to fade. Don't you see that there is vengeance in my